Have you ever watched a movie or TV show and thought, wow, that character is going to have a really high therapy bill one day? I did, and that is what inspired this video. So I made a list of characters that I think really would require therapy after everything they've been through rather than they would just benefit from it. And I thought really hard on what characters I would include. And I also followed the rule of the character had to survive their movie or franchise, and this is as of recording of November 2025. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about what inspired this video to begin with, which is Alex from Weapons. Weapons is a story about a bunch of kids who go missing in the night, and people are just trying to figure out what happened. And Alex is the point of view we get. But if you really think about what Alex went through, he's a kid. I think it was second or third grade class. I can't remember the exact grade level. But he has to go home and deal with this. Like, he knows what's going on. Like, he has an idea of what's going on, but he can't call for help. And just the idea of what he has to go through with his parents, his family member coming into town, and seeing his parents having to take care of them, and seeing all his classmates become like this. And towards the end of some kids are able to speak, like, crazy that Alex has to deal with all this, and his parents are dead. Like, Alex deals with a lot in this movie, and he just has to accept it. And honestly, Alex, you should go to therapy and really talk about it, because you really do need it, Alex, especially with your parents. He does a lot of stuff in that movie. And that's what inspired me to think, well, kid's gonna have a high therapy bill one day. Next is Laurie Strode from Halloween franchise. And this could be really any timeline. Now, I have not seen the entire franchise, but I want to talk more about the 2018 timeline. Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. And I've seen H2O and the original, and I think too. Laurie deals with a lot, and I think especially if we're talking about the 2018 timeline where she really lets it take over, I really think that Laurie needs just to go talk to someone, talk to a therapist, work through the issues. We do see that in a little bit here in H2O a little bit, but I really think that she just needs to sit down and just really cope with it and really talk to a therapist about what she went through, especially with Michael coming back repeatedly. Yeah, Laurie, get some therapy. Next, I have Andy from the Child's Play franchise, and this is, of course, the killer doll Chucky. And could you imagine having a killer doll after you for so many years, starting from like literal childhood and going to teenage years, adulthood? Like, that's crazy. Like, he never had peace with his doll, and it's driving me crazy. No one believed him for years, and he's dealt with this doll so many times. Like, let Andy have a good life, you know? Talk to a therapist. Get therapy, Andy. And if any character is a definition of needing therapy after what they deal with, Andy's towards the top of that list. Get some therapy, Andy. And then I got Aidan Keller from The Ring, and I've seen The Ring and The Ring too. And look, I think he needed this before with him kind of being, he kind of gives me creepy vibes to begin with, but like he was like more of an adult and getting himself ahead of time. And then he has to deal with, what was it, his cousin or some family member like dying and drawing all those pictures, like especially Samara, like that kid just needs to sit down to a professional therapist and get that stuff out and learn how to be a kid again, honestly. Like, Aidan Keller, get some therapy. Like, you got this, man. You need it. Next, I have Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, maybe compared to everyone else, it probably is towards the end of everyone, but at the same time, Sally goes through a lot. Like, she sees her friends slayed. The dinner scene with cannibals is just hard, and just seeing what happens to this girl she goes through, there's so much to talk about. Talk about that, what she went through. It's a lot. She just needs to sit down and just talk to someone about it. Maybe she'll get over it, maybe she won't, but she needs to sit as a character and talk about what happened to her, because yeah, that's a lot, especially towards the end. I can only imagine. And then we have David from The Mist, which is another definition of needing therapy. Now, The Mist is where if you step out into the mist, you will die. And look, the ending where they only have a gun to shoot yourself, right, in the car, they decide, and only one person gets to live. He has a son with him, okay? Like, imagine having to kill everyone in the car, then killing your son, and then it clears up. Talk about a depressing ending and having to live with that. Like, I don't even know how to get over that. Like, man, David goes through a lot. And that ending, I think, just is not only is a very depressing ending, but a depressing ending that would probably have David very depressed for many years for understandable reasons. So David gets some therapy. And then I have Hannah from 28 Days Later. I get it. We get zombie apocalypse movies. We get it. But with Hannah, and 28 years later especially, her mother's no longer with them, right? So it's her and her father. She's taking care of more roles like cooking, cleaning, doing all of this adventures. And then she meets a group of people where she's like, yes, let's do this. We have to move forward. She's very mature about it after everything she's been through. She knows she has to do it. She understands. Then her father dies. Traumatic in this world. Her father dies. Then she has to go to this fortress of the military, and well, they want to do unspeakable acts to her, and she has to cope with this. At the same time with her father literally dying and seeing him as a zombie. And she's like 12 or 13 when this happens, if I remember right. Like, she's young. Like, watching this run of rise with the world taking over, like, she sees a lot. And at the end, you see a little bit of hope. And Hannah goes through a lot. I think she should just talk to a therapist. She really needs to talk through her childhood emotions and just get to a place mentally. Like, honestly, Hannah, get some therapy once the world's better. Then I have Amanda from Saw. Amanda is a character that is very interesting in this way because, yes, she's a drug addict and does have mental illness, but the way she's very codependent on Jigsaw here, if she just gets a therapy and just talks through everything, not only that she did, but just her codependency with Jigsaw and maybe her drug problem, she'd become better off. She has a lot of overlaying issues on top of each other, and she just needs to sit down and talk to something as a character because she just needs a therapist. That's all Amanda needs. And I have Beverly from It. This is the 2017, even 2019 version here. Yeah, you could say the losers are dealing with Pennywise, but Beverly more because Beverly is... she has an abusive father, right? We learn this and what her father does to her, and then she has to deal with it. Pennywise and these friends and these bullying, all of this at once, right? And then you get the sad story of these years later, right? She goes through this, she deals with it again. Then years later in 2019, like a time jump happens and we find out that she has an abusive husband. Now she has to deal with that, a bad marriage. She's depressed, she's struggling, and now, it's been almost since I've seen the movie, she has to do it again. Like, she has never had it easy from when we first see her towards the end. Like, she's always struggling, and if Beverly just needs a therapist more than any of the loser club, Beverly, go get a therapist. You need it, especially with your childhood traumas. Talk about it. Then I have any female victim from the I Spit on Your Grave franchise. Now this can go for the whole SA revenge genre. In general, it could go for the whole genre, man or woman. But to be more specific, because I'm talking about characters here, I want to do the I Spit on Your Grave because it's most well known and the one I'm most familiar with, because I don't go searching for that stuff. Any female victim or any victim of that, get some therapy. That's very traumatic and that's very personal, and what happened wasn't right in any of those. And in those films, it gets, and depending on the film, varies on this degree, but kind of romanticizing a bit. I Spit on Your Grave definitely does that, which is something I will never hold a grudge against it. But any victim from that, any female ones that got hurt, not the ones who's the perpetrator, any victims, go get therapy. You really do need it. Like, you really do. Then I have Cole from Clown in a Cornfield. Now this is about a clown who goes to attack this small town. And let's go over Cole's character and what he deals with from the start. Let's go with Cole's family, right? Cole's family is complicated, right? They obviously kind of don't get along. And we find out later on that his father, had something to do with the death of the sibling. And his father's this evil monster, and he's kind of taking over after his father. So that's already a big responsibility. And then you have his LGBTQ gay identity. And he struggled with that, clearly, as he never really went out with him when he wanted to towards the end. Which, good for him. Go Cole. But he deals with a lot. And he's taking on a lot of responsibility. And of all the characters, I think he holds the most, especially with his family, responsible. And his siblings' death and finding out his role in all of that, and his dad being really the one to can be in charge of everything, and killed friends that he made. Like, that's a lot to deal with as a teenager, and it seems like he's helping the town. Like, he's just trying to accept what happened, and you just need to sit down and really talk to a therapist. And then lastly, it got Gwen and Finney. Now, this was added after I saw Black Phone 2, I will say. Because Gwen and Finney, I think both of them need to sit down together and separate. Because aren't their characters from the first one, right? You have Finney from being bullied, his friendship with his friend, and him being dead, and then him getting kidnapped and having to deal with all of that and having to grow up, get out, and how he deals with the grabber and kills him. He goes through a lot, and he is a victim. And then his sister, and then the sister, they have lost their mother at the same exact time, which is already enough to deal with. Then you get to Black Phone 2, which is recent, where you find out that victims have been calling for years, like, he can't escape this. And now Gwen is involved, and she's dealing with her mother's death. She's learning all this new information about everything and how her grabbers actually connected to the family when he killed the mom to begin with, which crazy way to tell the story. But all of this together, right? And especially with her and school, and how people call her at school now, the bullying, and Benny with fighting, and him dealing with that consequence. They both are kind of balancing out with the father. Like, it's a lot, especially the religious stuff too. Like, they both deal with a lot, and if they just need to sit down and really get some therapy, and I think they would really benefit through it as characters. And so this was all the characters, I think, as of right now, that would require therapy. I'm sure there are longer lists out there, people. And comment down below your list of characters or character you think that you thought, wow, they really need therapy, or that's a really high therapy bill. Comment yours down below, because I'm curious to see what everyone else has to say when it comes to what characters really need therapy. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon with a brand new video.